Welcome to Wisconsin, everybody. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've made a coin grading video, and given that the weather pretty much has us hunkered down at home, I thought today would be a great time to pick up the series on coin grading, and we're going to continue with the Roosevelt dime, one of my favorites by complete accident. So if you'll just do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button, and share this content if you think that it's useful. And let's get right into it. Well, before we get too heavy into coins, we have to look at that dog. Look at that dog. Hi, Sasha. She's a tired girl because she played hardcore today, didn't ya? Yeah. So I'm going to share with you some examples of Roosevelt dimes out of my collection here. And the Roosevelt dime is a challenge to grade, primarily because of its size. With a diameter of 17.91 millimeters, or 0.71 of an inch, it is the smallest U.S. circulating coin. Although its design devices are large and bold on the tiny canvas, inspection for grading purposes will send most collectors reaching for some sort of magnification. The coin was first issued on January 30th, 1946, the late president's birthday. U.S. Mint chief engraver John R. Sinek chose to portray a left-facing portrait of Franklin Delano Roosevelt on the obverse of the new dime. A flaming torch signifying liberty is the central device on the reverse. An olive branch with two fruits to the left of the torch signifies peace. An oak branch bearing two acorns to the right of the torch signifies strength and independence. On the 90% silver dimes dated from 1946 through 1964, the mint mark, when used, is located to the left of the base of the torch on the reverse. Mint marks, when used, were moved to the obverse above the date beginning in 1968. From 1946 through 1955, Roosevelt dimes were struck for circulation at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, although only the Denver and San Francisco mint strikes carry mint marks. From 1956 through 1964, the San Francisco mint was closed. It was reopened in 1965. Although regular issue Roosevelt dimes were struck at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco facilities from 1965 through 1967, no mint mark appears on them. Proof versions of the Roosevelt dime were struck at the Philadelphia Mint from 1950 through 1964 and have no mint mark. Today, sometimes impaired proofs from the 1950 to 1964 era are included in privately assembled sets of uncirculated coins because those assembling the sets mistake the proof for an uncirculated Philadelphia mint without a U.S. mint mark. Since 1980, the U.S. Mint has been designating coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint with the P mint mark on circulating denominations above the date. In 1996, the Mint produced a special 50th anniversary circulation strike version of the Roosevelt dime at the West Point Mint in Roosevelt's home state of New York. The 1996 W. Roosevelt dime was available only in uncirculated mint sets produced and sold during 1996. Collecting choices differ for Roosevelt dimes. Some collect only the 90% silver early Roosevelt dimes, while others are inclusive, adding what is known simply as the copper-nickel clad Roosevelt dimes, composed of two outer layers of 75% copper, 25% nickel cladding that is bonded to an inner core of pure copper. Metal composition is important in grading Roosevelt dimes. The softer 90% silver coins are much more susceptible to wear, nicks, and scratches than those of the harder copper-nickel clad composition. During the past 4 decades, as the Mint has increased mintages for circulation strikes, Roosevelt dimes to meet the needs of commerce, it has gradually lowered the relief, reducing the coin's susceptibility to wear. It is possible to find a later Roosevelt dime in circulation with little to no signs of wear, even on the high points of the design. Thus, copper-nickel clad Roosevelt dimes plucked from circulation for collections tend to be in about uncirculated range AU50, AU55, and AU58. One fact to remember is that Roosevelt dimes struck at the San Francisco Mint tend to exhibit weakness of strike. Areas to check for weakness of strike include Roosevelt's ear, the hair above his hair, and the hair on the top of his head. Weakness is sometimes found on the torch on the reverse. Often in weak strikes, the flame and the base of the torch will have a mushy appearance. Other areas of the reverse that may exhibit weakness of strike include the central portion of the torch, leaves on both sides of the olive and oak branches on either side of the torch, and the motto, E pluribus unum. Okay, now looking at the heat map here for the Roosevelt dime. In the red, this is of course considered the worst. Orange is bad, and yellow is average. Green is better, and blue is best. A mark in the red area is about 8 times more serious than if the same mark is in a green area. The worst places on the obverse for a mark or scratch is on the Roosevelt's cheek and date. On the reverse, the lower horizontal bands on the torch are the worst places for scratches and marks. Design high points for the Roosevelt dime are shown in red. Design high points on the obverse of the Roosevelt dime are on the hair above FDR's ear, on the cheekbone, and along the jawbone. High points on the reverse include the center of the flame atop the torch, the top of the lower horizontal bands on the torch, lower right center leaf of the closest olive leaf cluster at the left of the torch, and the right center top leaf in the oak branch to the right of the torch. Light wear evident on design elements. On the obverse, wear is detectable on the top high points of Roosevelt's hair, cheekbone, and upper tip of the ear on the EF40. On the reverse, wear is evident on high points of the flame, torch, and leaves, but all details are clearly defined. A trace of mint luster may be present. In the EF45, you will see very light wear visible on the design high points. On the obverse, slight wear is visible on high points of hair above Roosevelt's ear. The ear is detailed and sharp. On the reverse, light wear is detectable on the high points of the flame. Lines on the torch are clearly defined and fully separated. Part of the mint luster is still present. In the AU50, you will find traces of wear visible on the highest points of the design elements. On the obverse, you will find traces of wear detectable on hair above Roosevelt's ear, and on the reverse, details of the flame are sharply defined, but traces of wear are still visible. In the AU55, there are small traces of wear visible on design high points. On the obverse, look for a slight trace of wear visible on the high points of hair above Roosevelt's ear. On the reverse, you will find slight traces of wear detectable on the highest points of the flame atop the torch. 3/4 of the mint luster is still present. On the AU58, what you're going to want to look for is the slightest evidence of wear on the highest points of the design element. On the obverse, you'll find some signs of abrasion detectable on high points of the Roosevelt's cheek and hair above the ear. On the reverse, look for some signs of abrasion on top of the leaves and the details in the flames. And in the MS-60, when we get into mint state, this is an uncirculated coin with no trace of wear. It may have heavy contact marks in all areas and a noticeable patch of hairline scratches. Full mint luster is present, but surfaces may be dull, spotted, or toned. The MS-61 is again an uncirculated coin with no trace of wear. You may have a few heavy or numerous light contact marks in the prime or secondary focal areas. It also may have a noticeable patch or continuous hairline scratches on the surfaces. Small rim nicks, striking, or planchet defects may be visible as well. Mint luster may be diminished or noticeably impaired, and the eye appeal is somewhat unattractive. On an MS-62, also uncirculated with no signs of wear, you will find clusters of small contact marks that may be present over the entire surface of the coin. A few large contact marks or nicks are permitted in prime focal areas, and hairline scratches may be very noticeable. Planchet quality, strike, and rim may be noticeably below average. Mint luster may be dull or impaired, but overall eye appeal is generally acceptable. Now on the MS-63, you're going to have distracting small contact marks only in prime focal areas and possible a few heavy marks. Small hairline scratches are visible without magnification, but the mint luster is attractive. General quality is about average, and overall, the coin is rather attractive. On the MS-64, you may have light scattered contact marks with a few in prime focal areas. There may even be a few scattered hairline scratches or a patch of hairlines in secondary focal areas visible under low magnification. Full original mint luster is present and the eye appeal is generally pleasing. On an MS-65, look for a few contact marks because they are permitted and they'll usually be light and scattered. There's no major distracting contact marks permitted in the prime focal areas. One or two small patches of hairline scratches may show under magnification, and the mint luster must be fully original and of attractive high quality. The eye appeal is very pleasing. On the MS-66, we are only going to accept a coin with no more than two or three minor small contact marks. A few very light hairline scratches may show, but only under magnification. It must have above average quality of strike, and the mint luster must be full and original. Eye appeal must be above average and very pleasing for the date and the mint mark.